Good evening, guys. Today we're going to read The Journey of the Noble Gnarble. Right. Far below the ocean waves, a Gnarble lay in bed. All night long his Gnarble dreams kept swimming in his head. He dreamt of a dream swimming up to see the sky above, lit up by the sun in colors he knew he'd love. But Gnarbles never swam that high, their fins were much too small. Their tails were thin and floppy, which didn't help at all. This Gnarble liked his fins and had no problem with his tail, so when he woke he knew he just wouldn't fail. I'm swimming up above the waves to see the sky of blue. I've never seen it even once, and now it's time I do. But the other Gnarbles warned him that he shouldn't swim up so high, as did the Blyfish family that always swam close by. No Gnarbles ever swam that high, it simply isn't done. A Blyfish might just make the trip, but we know you're not one. Gnarbles don't have flappers, like all us Blyfish do. You don't even have coggers, like swimming gungaloo. But the Gnarble didn't listen, and he left his friends behind. No silly Blyfish family could ever change his mind. He swam up past the boulders made of spongy gishy gosh. He flew right by the herd of floating, feeding flipple-flosh. His fins were getting tired, but he knew he couldn't stop, so he kept swimming faster, trying hard to reach the top. Just then a hungry Workle blocked the Gnarble with his fin. He grabbed him by his tail and brought him right up to his chin. I've never had a Gnarble. This would be a tasty treat, but you're much too thin and tiny for big old me to eat. So the Gnarble just kept swimming and didn't dare to stop until he heard the sound of a great big bubble pop. He turned around to see that he was in a bit of trouble. Then the sound he heard was that of a silver subba-lubble. That's an interesting word, subba-lubble. The Gnarble tried to hide somewhere that he could safely stay, but the Subba-wubble saw him and was headed right his way. Oh, Mr. Subba-wubble, please don't eat me up for lunch. I'll bring a yummy plant instead for you to sit and munch. I've never seen a Gnarble try to swim this high before. What is it, little fishy, that you're headed up here looking for? If I could just see the sky just once, I'd be a happy fish. To do one flip above the waters would be my only wish. Well, sorry, silly Gnarble, but I cannot let you go. It's a Subba-wubble dinner time. You should have stayed below. The Gnarble cowered back in fear and shook from fin to fin, but then he saw a school of fish called Shiny Glimmy Glynn. The Glimmy Glynn swam right past the Subba-wubble's face, and the Gnarble grabbed a glimmy fin and quickly left that place. The Gnarble swam up higher still until he saw some light. He knew it had to be the sun. Oh, and it was such a sight! Closely by, a plink was sleeping, lying on his back. He rubbed his giant belly as he dreamed about a snack. The Gnarble smiled happily and set his fins a-swimming, but he didn't see the plink wake up, for he was busy grinning. The Gnarble almost made it to the surface of the sea, but the plink chomped down and swallowed him as if he were a pea. The Gnarble sat inside the plink and started softly crying. He'd never make it out, so was there any point in trying? But the Gnarble knew he'd come too close to quit and give up now. There must be some way out of here. There's got to be, somehow. So the Gnarble swam around inside, trying very hard to think, and while he did, his floppy tail was tickling the plink. The plink was very ticklish, and he couldn't hold it in. He tried to cover his laugh with a giant plinkish fin. But his mouth was open long enough for the Gnarble to swim free. He swam so fast the hungry plink did not have time to see. Far above the ocean floor, above the Gnarble's home, above the Blyfish families and dancing water gnomes, above the swimming gungaloo and the slimy dundle-dun, a Gnarble flipped above the waves and smiled at the sun. The end. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you tomorrow.